Meet Jessica. She's 38, makes decent money, has a solid job, talks constantly about how impossible it is to save for a house. Last month, she spent $3,000 on an MRI for her 12-year-old golden retriever. She buys $80 bags of organic dog food. She pays for supplements, calming treats, dental chews, breed-specific shampoo, orthopedic bedding, a monthly toy box, and a stroller for a dog that still prefers old tennis balls in sleeping on the floor. And Jessica is not crazy. She is not irresponsible. She is doing what millions of loving pet owners have been trained to do, because the pet industry figured out something terrifying. The fastest way to access the middle class isn't through children anymore. It's through pets. And what feels like love is often a catastrophic wealth leak. My name is Sloan, and I spend way too much time analyzing the hidden systems that quietly drain ordinary people's wealth, so you don't have to. If you've ever looked at your bank account and thought, I make too much money to feel this broke, hit subscribe, because today we're going to perform a brutal autopsy on one of the most emotionally protected spending categories in modern life, the pet economy. And before you get defensive, let me say this clearly. Loving your pet is not the mistake. The mistake is not realizing that your love has been turned into a subscription model. It's when an industry takes a real human emotion, love, guilt, protection, grief, responsibility, and attaches a premium price tag to it. And the pet industry has perfected this, because pets used to be animals we cared for. Now, they are marketed as emotional dependents, not companions, not animals, children with fur. And once that psychological shift happens, the pricing logic changes completely. Think about it. If I try to sell you a $120 leash, that sounds ridiculous. But if I frame it as safer for your baby, less stressful for their joints, better for their anxiety, made with organic, non-toxic materials, designed by canine behavioral specialists, suddenly you're not buying nylon. You're buying proof that you're a good person. That's the trick. The industry is not really selling pet products. It's selling emotional absolution. And this is why pet spending is so hard to challenge. Because every category gets wrapped in moral language. Cheap food? You're neglectful. Basic collar? You're uninformed. No pet insurance? You're reckless. No advanced procedure for a 14-year-old animal with multiple age-related issues? You didn't do everything. That is not healthcare logic. That is shame-based upselling. Some pet spending is absolutely necessary. Food, vaccines, parasite prevention, emergency care, pain management, humane treatment. That's not what this video is attacking. What we're talking about is the layer above that. The premium layer. The boutique layer. The luxury medical emotional layer. The layer where middle-class people quietly start spending like they have inheritance money. And the reason this exploded is simple. In a world where people delay kids, feel isolated, work too much, and crave unconditional affection, pets became emotionally bigger than ever. The bond is real, which means the monetization opportunity is enormous. This is where the historical contrast matters. A few decades ago, most people loved their pets deeply, without turning them into a permanent lifestyle expense stack. Dogs ate dog food, cats ate cat food, they got routine vet care, basic treatment, and a lot of affection. But they were still understood as animals. Today, your pet doesn't just have food. They have a nutritional identity. They don't just have a checkup. They have a care plan. They don't just sleep. They have memory foam. They don't just go on a walk. They have gear. And notice what happened in parallel. Human wages got squeezed. Housing got more expensive. Healthcare got worse. Retirement got pushed further away. So right as the middle class got financially weaker, the emotional pressure to spend more on pets got stronger. That's not an accident. That's a market adaptation. When people can't afford the old markers of adulthood, homes, kids, stability, corporations create new identity products for the same nurturing instinct, and pets became the perfect vessel. So let's do the brutal math. Let's build a very normal, modern pet owner scenario. Not extreme, not celebrity-level insane, just upper middle, emotionally invested. I want the best for my dog, normal. Jessica has one medium to large dog. Here's the annual spend. Premium organic pet food, $80 a bag, 12 bags a year, equals $960. Supplements, probiotics, calming chews, fish oil, joint support equals $600. Subscription toys and treats equals $480. Grooming and specialty shampoo products equals $900. Pet insurance equals $1,200. Higher-end annual dental cleaning or preventive add-ons averaged out equals $800. Boarding, daycare, dog walking convenience costs equals $2,400. Accessories, beds, seasonal gear, replacement harnesses, cute, impulse buys equals $1,000. That's already $8,340 a year, and that's before the big hits. Now add one major late life diagnostic event every few years, maybe an MRI, maybe surgery, maybe a specialist consult, maybe another just to be safe imaging package. Let's average those major events at just $3,000 per year over the life of the pet. Now Jessica is spending $11,340 per year. Over 12 years? That's $136,080. And remember, this isn't the cost of loving a dog. This is the cost of loving a dog inside a premium emotional marketplace. But here's where it gets ugly, because direct spending is only half the story. The real monster is opportunity cost. If Jessica invested just $500 a month instead of letting it disappear into the fur baby premium and earned an average 8% annual return over 30 years, that becomes roughly $680,000. If it's $800 a month, now we're around $1.08 million. That's the real bill, not the Chewy box, not the MRI, not the orthopedic bed. The real bill is the life those dollars could have bought later. Fewer working years, more freedom, less panic, an actual down payment, actual breathing room. This is why small, loving expenses become gigantic financial events, because they don't just cost money once. They steal the future that money could have built. Now here's why smart people fall for this. It's not because they're dumb. It's because their brain is being hit from 3 directions at once. 1. Anthropomorphism. We project human needs onto animals. If we like organic, artisanal, curated, anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly products, we assume our dog needs the same thing. Sometimes that's true. Often it's branding with paws on it. 2. Guilt, aversion. Owners are terrified of regret. Nobody wants to ask years later, Could I have done more? That fear makes people radically vulnerable to premium care. Upsells in emotionally charged moments. 3. Identity signaling. Your pet becomes an extension of your moral identity. You are not just feeding a dog. You are the type of person who cares deeply, who provides the best, who never cuts corners. And once spending becomes identity, logic dies. That's the whole trap. The industry doesn't need you to love your pet a little more. It just needs to make frugality feel like betrayal. And this isn't theoretical. This is what it actually does to households. A couple delays investing. They keep revolving credit card debt because a pet emergency wiped out their cash cushion. They normalize monthly pet spending that quietly rivals a car payment. They finance procedures they can't actually afford. They tell themselves it's temporary. But temporary spending habits have a weird way of becoming permanent identities. And because pets are emotionally sacred, this category almost never gets audited. People will scrutinize their Netflix subscription, negotiate their cell phone bill, cut out lattes, and then casually spend $400 a month on pet-related extras they no longer even see. That's why I call it the invisible premium nobody talks about. Because if you challenge car debt, people nod. If you challenge housing costs, people debate. If you challenge pet spending, people act like you insulted a family member, which is exactly why the category grows untouched. So how do you escape this without becoming cold, stingy, or negligent? You need what I call the Guardian Standard Framework. Not parent logic, not guilt logic. Guardian logic. Here's how it works. Step 1. Separate care from premium theater. Your pet needs competent care, not luxury branding. Ask, is this medically necessary or emotionally persuasive? If the answer is fuzzy, pause. Step 2. Create a pet policy before emotions hit. Decide in advance. Your monthly pet budget, what preventive care is, automatic, what emergency spend threshold. You can handle what age/quality of lifeline changes the decision making. The worst time to make a financial decision is inside panic. Step 3. Demand a second opinion on expensive procedures. Not because vets are evil, most are not. But emotional decision environments create bad pricing discipline. A second opinion can save thousands and reduce unnecessary intervention. Step 4. Stop using your pet as a moral performance. This is the ego death part. Your dog does not care whether the bowl is handcrafted. Your cat does not feel abandoned because the toy wasn't subscription-based. Your pet mostly wants safety, comfort, routine, and your attention. A lot of pet love spending is actually owner anxiety wearing a cute costume. Step 5. Build a pet sinking fund. Set aside a sane monthly amount in cash for real care. That way, genuine needs don't become dead events. This is the adult version of love, not endless spending. Preparedness. That's the mental shift. From I must buy the best of everything, or I'm a bad owner. 2. I provide stable, rational, humane care without letting an industry hijack my future. That is what financial adulthood looks like. Here's the key insight. The most expensive part of the pet industry is not the products. It's the story. The story that love must always be upgraded. The story that restraint is cruelty. The story that every extra dollar spent proves devotion. That story is how a normal household ends up paying a $20,000 fur baby premium they never consciously agreed to. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize the industry isn't just treating your pet, it's billing your conscience. So no, this is not an argument against loving your pet. It's an argument against letting corporations translate love into automatic spending. Because your pet does not need you to be financially performative. Your pet needs you present, stable, calm, able to care for them without collapsing your own future. It's not your fault. Your empathy was hacked, but once you see the trap, you get your agency back. Stop optimizing for feeling like a perfect pet parent and start optimizing for being a financially stable guardian. If this video made you rethink a spending category nobody is supposed to question, subscribe and send this to the friend who says they're broke, but somehow has a dog with a birthday budget.